Alright, guys, so, we gotta talk about this one because Zack Snyder just posted a video on Twitter, something about hashtag full circle and an incoming transmission from Lord Darkseid, which it's kind of insane. So if you haven't already, I definitely recommend going and checking out the videos. Just like a 30-second video, very simple put together video that's just teasing save the date. It's like April 28th to April 30th or something like that. Something big is coming from Zack Snyder, some kind of big announcement. Everybody's really excited for it. Everybody's pumped up for it. Everybody is thinking, oh my God, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It came out like, 2 years ago now, around this time. And, we haven't heard anything since then. Are we finally getting Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 and 3 on Netflix? Literally restore the Snyderverse on Netflix, guys. Hashtag sell the Snyderverse to Netflix or whatever that hashtag is. No, that's not happening. I mean, most people, including myself, have, as cool as that would be. And at the time, after Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, I loved that movie. I would have loved to have seen the rest of his vision brought to life, but we've just moved on by now. It's 2 years later. We kind of given up and we've moved on to more realistic stuff. Now James Gunn has taken over DC Studios. We're getting Superman Legacy. We're getting Batman the Brave and the Bold. We got a whole lot of cool stuff to look forward to. So when this little teaser clip first started and it was like, incoming transmission, and it was like talking about save the date, I just automatically assumed this was going to be related to Zack Snyder's upcoming film Rebel Moon, which of course is going to be on Netflix. This is something I'm actually really excited for because I don't really know anything about it, but I mean, I love Zack Snyder as a director. I love sci-fi space movies, and that's looking like what this is going to be. It kind of looks like Dune, but in space. So this looks pretty cool. I'm really excited for this one. So that was my initial thoughts on this when it was just a generic video just saying incoming transmission, save the date, April 28th to April 30th. Some people jumped to the conclusion, oh my God, the Snyderverse. And I was just like, nah, it's Rebel Moon. But then, the Snyderverse fans got a fair point here because you look at the full video, it says incoming transmission from Lord Darkseid, April 28th to April 30th, 2023, save the date. Lord Darkseid. You can't say incoming transmission from Lord Darkseid and say that's not related to the Snyderverse and Zack Snyder's Justice League. For all we know, maybe there's an original character in Rebel Moon called Darkseid. That would be kind of funny, but probably copyright in some shape or form. So I kind of doubt that. So clearly this is related to Darkseid. This is related to the DC character Darkseid, who appeared in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But what does this mean? Does this mean we are getting a Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2? Does this mean we're getting hashtag restored the Snyderverse? All that stuff? Is it happening on Netflix? Oh my God, guys. No. Not necessarily. Again, as cool as that would be, there's definitely a lot of potential there, and that would be awesome. I would really enjoy that. But, specifically talking about the whole sell the Snyderverse to Netflix was just a stupid idea from the start because legally that's not a thing that could ever even happen. Realistically, it could. Like they could do it because we see that a lot lately. Warner Brothers Discovery has been selling off a lot of projects to other streaming services, like Batman: The Cape Crusader. That animated series is going to be on Amazon Prime Video. So realistically, it is something that could happen. But Warner Brothers Discovery, sure, they do some stupid stuff, but they're not that stupid to do a whole Justice League live-action project not on their own streaming service, or honestly just on a streaming service, period. So there's that's not happening. So I just kind of assume, okay, maybe it's something related to this, but it's not going to be any big announcement about, a return to directed DC or Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 or anything like that. It's got to be something else. And that's when Grace Randolph came in, and, she's actually good friends with Zack Snyder himself. And she put in her 2 cents saying that this is SnyderCon, I believe this will be a transition from his DC work to Rebel Moon with Warner Brothers' blessing. Here the studio's helping in some ways to make SnyderCon a cool event because he is moving to his next chapter, which honestly I think this is a great idea because again, the Snyderverse fans, there's probably some of you watching this video. I don't hold anything against you guys, but it's just, at times, they go a bit overboard, like review bombing the Suicide Squad just because it's James Gunn and it's not set in the Snyderverse and it's not David Ayer. And like, just people are incredibly rude in that group of people, and I don't like it. I mean, I love Zack Snyder's films. I would love to see more of it, but realistically, it's just not a thing that's happening. And so I think that instead of Zack Snyder continuing to encourage those ideas that this could still be a thing, to finally shut it down, finally move on, and just let everybody start fresh. Let Zack Snyder do his own thing over at Netflix with Rebel Moon and the Army of the Dead franchise and all that stuff. Let James Gunn and DC and Warner Bros. Discovery move on and start over and do their own thing over there as well. This is just what I'm hoping is going to happen. Because again, Zack Snyder's great. So I'm definitely going to be saving the date for this, April 28th to April 30th. I wish they would have just picked one day instead of like, oh, it could be one of these 3 days. Oh, wait, never mind. Now that I think about it, if it's SnyderCon, it's probably a 3-day event. That actually makes a lot of sense. So yeah, this is obviously for SnyderCon. So that's pretty cool. It's going to be a cool event apparently. But I don't know, guys. You can definitely let me know your own thoughts in the comments below. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.